The question that we've been asked is how can you do a real estate matter in ULaw? So we'll walk through the whole notion of doing a matter. This is the client Dana Wilson. What we are going to do for her is we'll first do a sale, and then we'll do a purchase of a house, and we'll go through the motions of how to do that. So to do that, first I'm going to create a matter for Dana. So I'll click on the matter window, and let's say the matter is sale of property 81 King Street, right? And obviously here in the area of practice, you want to change it from here to, you want to change it to real estate. So you want to say here, real estate, and you can hit the save button. Now, once you have saved it, okay, what you can do is you can start recording stuff, that happens in trust. The first thing obviously is, the new retainer. You may want to say, hey, I'm collecting $600 of retainer. Maybe you already told the person to come with a check. So Dana has arrived with a check. You accept that, and you want to give it a receipt, and you can do an apply. And the software will generate a receipt that you can actually download and print it and give it to Dana. So that would be the first step of how you actually receive a retainer. Again, just to summarize, what we did was we clicked on the new retainer button. We got the retainer, entered all the details, and here is the receipt. As you notice, the receipt has all the details about the retainer. It also has his signature and your signature so that you can sign it. We also create a duplicate that you can actually keep for your own copy. The next step is actually, as part of the sale, receiving, the funds from the mortgage company. So, to do that, you will click on this action button, and we have something here called other payment deposit into trust. So this is the money that's coming in. So you can say on the sale, let's say the house was $450,000, right? And the check number was 78, and the seller was Fred Couples, and you can actually apply the payment, and now you've actually received that much money, and it's all sitting in trust. Now, as part of this, there might be some disbursements that you may want to do. Like, for example, you can say new disbursement. Sometimes it can even be paid from trust. You can say, what kind. Maybe you wrote a trust check for some land transfer tax. Like, let's say it was like about $75. You directly paid it from your trust check, and it was paid to City of Ottawa. And you can even print that check and hit the payment button, and the check will actually be downloaded for you, right? You could download it with to remittance, and it'll be downloaded, and then you can actually print it on your printer, and you can write that disbursement. The next step, obviously, is how to actually bill this client. Let's say you decided to bill this client, say $500, right? So you can say closing, right? And you can say $500 is my bill, and you can hit the save button. Maybe there's some faxes and disbursements that you want to charge, so you could do that as well. So you can go and say new disbursement, paid from general. A good one would be there might be a postage expense, right? You can say 5 stamps at $1.25. Obviously, you paid for that at Staples Business Depot. Stamps are about $1, so you paid about $5. So you can enter that. So that's one disbursement that you can enter. You can also do faxes. Like, for example, you can say new disbursement paid from general, and you can say faxes, and maybe the fax, for 30 pages at 75 cents. Obviously, for fax, there was no expense, so you can just uncheck that, and you can actually hit the save button, right? Now you're ready to actually raise an invoice, so let's go ahead and raise an invoice. So you can say document generation, invoice, complete, and you can even mark it as paid because you have money in the retainer that you can transfer for yourself. So you can say invoice, and you'll obviously download the invoice. So that's your invoice, like your fixed cost, and then your disbursements are all here, the postage and the fax. It lays out what is there, and it even tells the client what's the final amount, balance, and trust. So now what you want to do is you want to transfer the money that belongs to you. So you can go to the question mark, and obviously it'll tell you that you're allowed to transfer $597.49. So you can do that, and you can choose that. Write yourself a check or do an electronic fund transfer, whatever is required. Put your requisition number and move it from your trust account to general account. This is where you're paying yourself, right? And be done with it. So now once you're done, the paid yourself, everything, what's left in the matter, it basically, even if you hit the question mark, it'll tell you what's left in the matter is $449,927.51. Now this has to go out to the client. So you can actually say action, and then you can pay out from trust and give back this money to the client. But it might be a repeat client because he might come back to you for buying another property. So what you can do in that matter is you can say action, new matter. Now you can say purchase of new home at 82 Queen Street, and obviously again you can change that to whatever area of practice. And once you do that, and then you can hit the save button. Now what you can do is actually you can even add parties, like maybe this property Dana is actually buying with Chad, so you can just say Chad Wilson, and you can choose him and say he is basically the joint retainer. So you can say joint retainer, and you can hit the save button. So now you added Chad to this matter. The first thing that you want to do is go to the other matter, and you want to transfer all the fund that's left here into this matter so that you can pay the bank. So you can say action, inter-matter transfer, and this is where you're going to say, I'm going to transfer this money. Okay, it's an inter-matter transfer paid to Dana Melson, and you will basically refund. So that basically exits one matter and then makes its way into the other matter, which is basically, in this case, the purchase matter. So you want to remove it from here and put it here into the purchase matter and make that $0, right? So that means you moved the money from the sale to the purchase, and do this and apply. So now, when you do that, you'll now see that this matter, the purchase matter, will now have all the funds. So now, obviously, you will have your closing cost for here, right? Let's say it's another $500. I'm not going to show you more disbursements, but just an example. You can invoice this money, right? I'm going to invoice that, complete it, download it. And once I have downloaded and sent this invoice, obviously you can transfer this portion of the retainer to yourself. So you can hit the question mark and say, I'm going to pay myself this $565 for this purchase matter. And you can say, I'm going to move that from my trust account to this account, and hit the transfer button. Now, once you've done that, now obviously all the money that's remaining there, you would have calculated the total mortgage check, and you can actually write it off. You can just say action, other payout from trust, right? And this is where you're writing the check, and then maybe the check number is 556. The description can be like mortgage payout. Like, you have a description that you can put what it is about, and you can say paid to Minto Realities, right? And you can even print the check, and obviously the amount is 449,362.51 and paid out. And now you'll see that the projected balance is 0, and you're just printing the check, and you're actually done with the matter. Now, what you can do is you can actually look at your trust ledger. You can just hit the question mark, and that's your trust ledger for both these matters. You can just click on it, and that'll clearly show you. Look at that, $600 was received on the sale matter. That was the purchase amount. Then your disbursements and everything paid out, and then you paid out everything to yourself. And once you did all the payments, you basically transferred the rest from one matter to another matter. And finally, you received that funds in the other matter, you paid yourself, that's your invoice, legal fee, and the rest was actually done as a payout, as a mortgage payout to the other company. So to summarize, we created two matters. One was a sale and one was the purchase. All disbursements were handled under the disbursement category. They were either paid from general or paid from trust based on what you actually did. Additional parties was added here. Chad was added as a joint retainer, and your invoicing was done under matter events. And finally, under the action button for mortgage funds receivable, you used other payment deposit, and for mortgage payout, you used other payout from trust. And to do an intermatter transfer from the sale matter to the purchase matter, you actually use intermatter trust transfer.